Hey, good morning. Senopol here. This video actually it's just a follow-up video that comes up after the video I made, especially to people in D9, mostly people who are new to bitcoins. There are so many people who actually are new to bitcoins. Of course, I don't blame them because bitcoin is still a new thing, and some people have found themselves using bitcoin because the circumstances actually dictate, and so there's that kind of confusion. However, I would like to air out this so that we get to know which for instance, I made a Coinbase video, and I made also a Xapo video, like on how to get those wallets and which one to use. By the end of this video, you have made your own decision on which one to use and when to use it, for which reason. So the best way to answer this so that you get in other words, for you to judge this, you need to look at what people are saying about what to use and when to use. I think it's the best way, and that's why you come to this video session, because you need to find out, so you need to find out from people who have used this, who have had experiences with this. And I'll tell you my judgment at the end. I don't want to spoil the the whole process, so I'll tell you my judgment at the end. So this video is about between Xapo and Coinbase. Which one should you use? Okay, when and why and for what purposes? We are going to look at this at a depth so that we have, so that you decide, because the reason I've had through the WhatsApp groups we have, I've seen that many people were asking, yes, we like the video, blah blah, but then at the end, which one should we? When I use Coinbase, will I receive my money? Why is people promoting, or why would I use Xapo over Coinbase or Coinbase over Xapo? So, for starters, what I can tell you is one thing: all of them are doing almost the same things. Okay, there are just a few advantages one from the other, and we're going to see this so that at least you get to know. And if you subscribe actually to my YouTube channel, you are going to be having a series of videos on especially cryptocurrencies, on bitcoins, on other altcoins, and then also about D9. So just what you have to do is just subscribe, like, and also comment, because when you comment, you're giving me something. When you subscribe and like the videos, you also give me a reason, because how do I make this? For instance, how do I come up with these videos? I look at your feedback. When you don't tell me nothing, I don't know what to say. So it's after you guys tell me what you think about the video, or if your questions come up, then I make a subsequent video that answers the questions that I raised from a previous video. So that's how it works. So subscribing to my YouTube channel means you will not miss any video. Whenever there's a video, you will get a notification. You get it. So that's the best way. And then come on, it's a win-win situation. Today I'm an early bird always. Actually, I always wake up earlier. I wake up around 5 a.m. So today is the 5th June 2017, and it's 5:40 minutes. So where to start from? Before I give my judgment, I'll start with first of all, I'll go to and ask Uncle Google the best way to find out before you find a real person to tell you about this is when you ask Uncle Google. So we are going to ask Uncle Google, which of the two, Coinbase and Xapo, which one should we use? So you decide. I mean, the choice is always yours. Just like I remember one quote which says, always seek for advice from friends, but never ever let them decide for you. And that's how I go with life. So this is what I am for. Okay, so I'll go for compare Coinbase versus Xapo. Okay, this one, Uncle Google brings us something. Okay, remember one thing also you need to know is whenever you're doing a Google search, okay, one thing you have to know, I'll come up with videos on how to do searches. I mean, come on, if you sign up, there are many things I know that I could teach or share together. So whenever you do a Google search, just make sure always there's what we call search engine optimization, that the first Google looks at the the write-up that has been done is always ranked on top. These results mean a lot. So always Google has 10, it has always 10 searches on the first page. So the results that come up usually are 10. Okay, so when you look, for instance, this I want to show you, because if it is ranked on top of Google, okay, in most cases that means the person wrote conclusively about a given subject. This is what you should know. For instance, I will want to show you the different searches. It shows that over 354,000 results came up in 0.4 seconds. That doesn't mean that there are no other results. Look at, I want to show you the 10 results. This is number 1, okay, this is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. So whatever you are searching on Google, things that are ranked on the top, on the number 1 page of Google, whatever you are searching for, it means these people have done some good work about a given subject. So always, but that doesn't mean that it's only 10 results. If you come down to Google, you will see there is page 1, page 2, up to whatever. So that's one thing you should know, that the first 10 results mean a lot in whatsoever. So those of you who are doing marketing, this is one thing you should focus on. I can teach you how to do this, how to rank on the first page of Google. But today we are looking at the comparison between Coinbase and Xapo. Which service should we use? Okay, but before we go there, we have to look at what is a Bitcoin wallet, because this is where it is all coming up. People asking which wallet should we use. Okay, I made some searches on Collar and I will show you something here what they say. Okay, this is Collar. What is the Bitcoin wallet? The answers: a Bitcoin wallet is simply an app, website or device that manages Bitcoin private keys for you. We shall come to this later. There's what we call a Bitcoin private keys. This is the key that actually keeps your money. We shall come to this later in our Bitcoin sessions. So if we come down here, this guy tries to answer this on the 20th of May. I think people are asking. So a Bitcoin wallet is the software used to access your Bitcoin account, transfer coins, store Bitcoins, and receive money. That's all about this. So don't be worried. For instance, if I give an example of a D9 account, for those of you who want to transfer funds from D9 to Bitcoin, when you go where you put your Bitcoin address, they don't say Xapo or Coinbase account, they say Bitcoin, and this means Bitcoin. So this is what they're saying is is a Bitcoin wallet is the software used to access your Bitcoin account, transfer coins, and store Bitcoins and receive money. So that's all. You can use it to store, you can transfer, and you can also buy Bitcoin. So that's the ultimate thing. So when you go to your back office in Dina, it just says Bitcoin address. It doesn't say Xapo address or Coinbase address. I hope that is answered well now, that it does not matter what wallet you are using, as long as it accepts Bitcoin. I hope this one answers it very well, because that's where people are like, yeah, Coinbase and Bitcoin, blah blah blah. I mean, so this one answers it. If it was only Xapo, they would have the D9 office back, like they would say Xapo Coinbase Xapo wallet address or Coinbase wallet address, where you put, in other words, they just say Bitcoin address, meaning there are many wallet addresses, there are many address providers that you can use. I hope this one is answered. So just know it does not store Bitcoin itself, but the keys, that's the private key. We shall look at the private key of a Bitcoin address, because this is the most important as far as Bitcoin transactions are concerned. The private key, and please, you should always, there's what we call a public address, is what you guys usually put in the back office, but then there's what we call private key. Private key is that key actually confirms the transaction to go through. So I will come to this later. I just want to say it is used to access them on the blockchain, so you can spend, transfer them. There are different types of Bitcoin wallets. This is very, very important. You have what we call true online wallets, and this is the likes of Xapo and and also Coinbase. Okay, so these are what we call true online wallets. That is example Coinbase, CEO, and Xapo. Okay, then we have what we call fake online wallets. It's a website which contains the code used to access the network. The keys are stored on your browser. Example, well, I can't think of one that works with Bitcoin, but with Ethereum there is. So in other words, this one, there's nothing so far for Bitcoin that is being signed. So we have what we call software wallets. It's an app to access the network. If you store the full blockchain on a desktop computer, then you are also a full node. In other words, they are those wallets that actually you can install. You install a software like how you install Microsoft Word on your computer, and then be able to store your thing. Example, a lot of them in the Google Play Store. So just know that those wallets like Bitcoin, Xapo, these are software wallets. Then we have what we call the hardware wallets, and please, I'm going to also come to this because it's very, very important. It's the safest. Hardware and paper wallets, these are safest, unhacked, can't be hacked, I can say, wallets for you to use for storing your Bitcoins. Some are like a USB key with or without screen, which stores securely your keys. Then you spend them with your computers. Example, Ledger and Trezor. Paper wallets store the private key. I told you private key is very important. It confirms the transaction with its QR code on a physical paper. No hacking possible. It can't be hacked. So yeah, so there is so much. So they say it is the nickname for the encrypted file that contains like the keys to your Bitcoin address, as well as references to any Bitcoin transaction, the credit address inside the block. If you lose this file or it gets destroyed, those Bitcoin balances can never be spent. If someone else gets a copy of that file and manages to decrypt it, your Bitcoin balances are now their Bitcoin balance. Make sure, these are very important points. I think this one is going to help most of you who are just don't know, just do things haphazardly. You just need to know this is a store of value, and you need to be very careful with what you do. and which service you're using. I hope this helps a lot. So that gives us an overview of what a Bitcoin wallet is for most of you who didn't know. So I hope now you are in the hood. I can say. Yeah. So I'm just going to now go to what we say, the compare. We go back now, we compare Xapo or Coinbase or any other, which one we prefer. Why I say Xapo, why I compare Xapo and Coinbase, because those are services I've used and I've really seen how they are working, so I can ably. I have others, but I feel comfortable using this, and that's why I would tell you to choose depending on the reasons you are going to see. So like I was telling you about the first 10 results on any Google search, meaning, and the first one always is very important. In the further videos that will come, I'll try to show you what I mean by search. So let's go on the first, because it seems to be well researched. So I click on this. I want to see. We are going to read reviews of people who have used this service, so that you know. This is called bitcointalk.org. This is a thread this is a forum where people are trying to answer. So someone says, this is in 2016, around 6 that blah blah blah. Hi, I have heard Xapo and Coinbase are the two best online wallets. I just need to know, if you were to choose between them, which one you will go for and why. You can also share good and bad experiences with both wallets, so it can help us decide which one to use. Thanks. That was a concerned person, just like you have been. So there's an answer here. Even if you use Bitcoin through Tor, the way transactions are handled by the network makes anonymity difficult to achieve. Do not expect your transaction to be anonymous unless you really know what you are doing. This is not very important as far as we are concerned. Those of you who know Tor, I use Tor so much. Tor is another browser which you can use in order if you want to hide your activity on the internet, or if you want people not to spy on you, you can use Tor. It's another browser. It's like Chrome. A lot goes around. Remember, I'm an internet child. I've lived on the internet practically. Yeah, theoretically I live on the internet, so these ones I know. Yeah, so we come this. Someone is answering. It depends on your country where you are from. I am using Coinbase for a long time, and I have never had maybe any problem selling or buying. All working very good for me. All working very good for me. Support is also very active in my view. Coinbase is much better than other wallets. Are we giving? Maybe we should give. What can I say? I think we should give now. We should be rating who gets more points. Okay. We should look at the end before we even make a judgment. We should look at. We should give like scores. So wait a minute. Yeah, so we are going to have scorecards. So already Coinbase has 1 point. So let's record it here. Coinbase. Yeah, we just need to do the things and know who is getting what. So that is 1 for Coinbase. Xapo. Okay. You'll be putting commas. So that's 1 review. Okay, so that is 1 point. Yeah, and so we go to this. If you like to gamble with your Bitcoin, don't use Coinbase. They block people for gambling. You can read on this forum. That means this means one thing, that if you want gambling, like the betting kind of, you better use Xapo. In other words, if you want, if on these guys of Coinbase, they are very strict, so they don't allow gambling. So that means that's a one also for in terms of gambling. So I think this was for, yeah, so means that's one. I can say gambling. 1 point for Xapo, and this was what I have. They said support. Yeah, it's a lot. Maybe I'll just put the points. I'll not put what reasons, as long as you also know. Yeah, so I'll just say, so that's another. So Xapo, if you want to use your money on Bitcoin money to gamble, okay, just know it's not that it is used for gambling. No, for them, they accept, they don't limit you on what you can use your money for. That's a good thing for also Xapo. Yeah, so we come here. It's the same question here. Okay, what are you going to use it for? That's this is the reply to this same question. Just as a wallet or as an exchange, because both of them offer the exchange service. In other words, you can buy and sell. Both of them offer this. I have been used Coinbase only as a wallet, and it works fine. I also use their mobile app on the go, so it fits my needs. So that's another person now giving a kudo for Coinbase. Okay, we come to another. I am not using Coinbase and Xapo anymore. My Coinbase account is blocked because I use it for gambling. I was not aware of their rules. Remember, ignorance of law is no defense. So yeah, they could not forgive him. And I used the Xapo a year ago, and when I started to learn and earn Bitcoin from Facet, I'll come to that next time. Now I prefer to use offline wallet. Remember, we talked about the offline wallets. That's when you can either have a USB that stores that, or you use paper. You scan. Yeah. So my suggestion is that if you are going to keep many BTC, so it is better to use offline wallets such as Mountbit or Bitcoin Core. So this one person does not use any of these, and like we said, Coinbase doesn't accept gambling. So that's how. Yeah, so no one wins here. None of them is preferred here. Yeah. So we come. If you ask the Coinbase and Xapo, I feel Xapo. But if you are not a gambler, Coinbase also nice. Okay, so each one here gets a point. Gambler, I think this is the same thing. Maybe 1-1. Also nice. Actually, it depends on your needs. People have already explained that Coinbase prohibited to be used for gambling. If you use it to store large amounts of Bitcoin, should not. If you use it to store large amounts of Bitcoin, you should not use these two wallets because they have access to your account or your money. Of course, these are just stereotypes. Yeah, I mean, they are an exchange, so they have access. Of course, by the time you use them already, you know they have. So, in other words, this would be like another kudo, I can say, for Xapo. Maybe. Can I say that? But still talking about, maybe I cannot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should award the point because it is talking about the same thing. Gambling. So I think, I don't know. Should I? That should be you. But this is talking about the same thing. It's just gambling. You should use Xapo if you want to use. Okay. First of all, they are not online wallets. They are wallet service providers. Okay. There's a difference. With the wallet, you would have the private keys. Both Xapo and Coinbase don't give you private keys. So if for some reason their site is offline, you wouldn't be able to access your funds. Come on. Yeah, most of you have experienced this, that sometimes when, yeah, this is a very important thing that remember a time back, I think it was Xapo, no, it was, I think, Coinbase. I think they had this that week, when the last week of May, there was a rush for Coinbase, for Bitcoins, and the price fluctuations, I think, caused this. And then people, I think these guys, they were so overwhelmed with the number of people who were buying through Coinbase, so their website was a bit down. So this is what they explained. So in other words, I also had coins I could not get because this can happen, so you can't access your funds. So that's a measure. So yeah, so they tell you both of them have this. So there's no, if you must use an online wallet, then BitGo, so yeah, that's okay. No one gets your point here. Both are terrible shitcoin dumpers. I would avoid both, and they are not wallets anyway. This is not what we are looking out for. Actually, we already know it's a wallet, so you better do your reading, man. I don't use other wallet than blockchain usually, but I have also used Xapo some time ago. I think it is the best regarding all those issues of blocking account in Coinbase. Does this give Xapo another point? Yeah, I think Xapo deserves another. Yeah, because this is another kudo for Xapo. I don't know. Yeah, but it's also talking about just but if you don't gamble, this is what it's talking about. If you like gamble, yeah, I think I should give Coinbase Xapo another point. I don't know. Maybe I give it. So it is a tie, 2-2. Okay. For that case, because another person comes up. Yeah, but it's more or less talking about the same thing. I'm not suggest to you to use both for your wallet. The basically is exchange. I remember, don't keep your Bitcoin on exchange. I better to use a code wallet which you can have on your own. Okay, talking about the same thing. Nobody can answer your question better than yourself. It is up to you which one to choose considering your needs. Go to their terms of service and their rules and see if it is your need. For example, you want to use Coinbase as a wallet to spend on gambling sites, you will get banned according to them. This is already we know. Okay, another one here. Depends on the services in which you are interested to use them. I suggest for Xapo, in Xapo, because of instant transaction, other Xapo accounts with no time, and the other thing is that you can easily use it for gambling with no fee. Okay, so someone says Xapo is instant, I can say, but I've also used Coinbase and ones, but we won't depend on that. So that means those are 3 points for Xapo, and Coinbase has 1. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But Coinbase is much better and reliable wallet for Bitcoin. A large number of community are using Coinbase and they are satisfied with it. That's why I have kept the Coinbase as my main wallet. They say it is a reliable wallet for Bitcoin and better. So that gives a tie. We'll see. This is like Man U and Arsenal, yeah? But Arsenal is the best, you know this, eh? Okay, I prefer Coinbase, but use whatever you like. So this is another kudo for Coinbase. Can we say that? Yes. This is a 4-on-3. Coinbase would be safer, and Xapo is mainly for facet farmers. You can search this word facet because I wanted to come back for this in the later sessions. Instant deposits from facets, etc. So this is the same if you want it. They support facet farmers by using free tax fees because it takes an hour simply to get that. Okay, So they say Coinbase is safer. So that gives Coinbase another point. I use Xapo. It's easy to use and there is no fees when you send coins. I never had serious problem with Xapo. They can be slow sometimes. You see someone say it is fast. This I think is common for all. Sluggishness is a bit a common thing depending on the blockchain. You've seen sometimes you seek to get you buy or you want a Bitcoin and then it stays pending. It can even take, it can, depending on the heat that is on the, depending on the heat that, like on the activity on blockchain, Coinbase or Xapo can be sluggish. I've seen transactions which have I've seen transactions that have been I've seen transactions that actually that have taken like 3 days. Okay, so it's very possible to, yeah, it's very possible to have the two. In other words, there are transactions that have taken 3 days, hours before you receive them. Okay, they have one wallet for storing. Yeah. So I've been used this wallet several times, but now I had decided not to use it anymore because I feel not comfortable using this wallet. And about your question, I guess we will find a variety of answers here because I think both are good, and it all back to yourself which wallet will do use. Come on. I've never used both because I have had a lot bad marks both, mostly Xapo. I suggest you to go with Coinbase because I have more reputation among Bitcoiners. I suggest you to go with Zillion if you want a portable and fast one. Check out blah blah blah. So this is another kudo for Coinbase. I think Xapo is more of a novelty Bitcoin what as if you see this there were, yeah, as if you see it should be, I think, as you see their website, it is kind of like a gamer site, and the CEO puts up a message as updates to you users about playing mobile app games which you don't see on Coinbase. So it's up to your preference if you want a serious of a game, if you want serious of a gaming type site to hold your coins. So I don't know if, yeah, still talking about gambling. As per hourly price, it will depend on how you're gonna use it. For me, both of them works. If you're gonna use it as a temporary storage of your coin, but if you're gonna store your coin for good, much better not to use web-based wallet. And if you facet lovers and a gambler, much better to use Xapo because Coinbase will buy. If you found that you are using it for gambling, you always have option. You can have both. And yeah, more or less. So this is another kudo for Xapo. So for how many? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just gave it to Xapo, but still, it's still talking about gambling. So I just give them a point. Well, I made another research here. Coinbase or Xapo, which is better? Yeah, I can click here and we see. Yeah, I have heard Xapo and Coinbase are the best. I think this is the same thing. Yeah, this is the same thing. Yeah, I think. How does Xapo compare to other Bitcoin wallets? Xapo wallet has a few good features, but does not offer something incredibly better than other wallets. Coinbase has everything they have and more. Xapo wallet combines the convenience of an everyday Bitcoin wallet with the security of a deep cold storage vault. You'll be able to buy Bitcoins, send Bitcoins or other account, and transfer your Bitcoins to your vault. Only a few other wallets have international debit card that is linked to your wallet, and they were one of the first to offer this. So Xapo can offer you a debit card, which is a very important thing, which you can use to withdraw funds. So just know that. So that's another kudo for maybe they have yeah. But as far as I know, when you're in Uganda, you don't get that. You cannot access those cards when you have a Ugandan address. So I don't know if it should put it for, yeah, we can't get a Xapo debit card here. So I can say, yeah, it's a kudo for Xapo. You can get a debit card. Yeah. The idea is to use okay. The idea is to use the card as normal debit card, but when you pay with or withdraw money, payments are converted instantly from your Bitcoins in. Wallet also offers multi-signature settings where you can easily and securely share a single Bitcoin wallet among multiple users. Kind of that. This feature is also a convenient way for Bitcoin escrow or group friends, blah blah blah, to view and access shared pool of Bitcoin. With enhanced approval permission setting, you can ensure that each transaction is approved by multiple users. Personally, I don't like wallet user bit on desktop, and yeah, so that's another one. So you can actually get to know about this. I have another research thing here. I think this one is not very important. Yeah, so now you know. So here is what we've had. I'll go back to Uncle Google so that we kind of look at these things. I think it is so far it is a one. This is a 6 on 5, but yeah, we can say that. Now my preference. Yeah, I want to give you my preference here. So this is my judgment and the reasons why. I'm going to tell you why I think things are the way they are. One, first of all, just know these things. Xapo is non-US. Okay, it's basically from Switzerland. In other words, it's not from the US. Headquarters in Switzerland. And for them to give their debit cards, they use a bank from the UK. You know, Xapo debit card from a UK company. For instance, in the UK, one thing I know is as long the laws in the UK actually can allow you, banking laws allow you to, you can actually have your own company. You can use it as, it can be your own bank to offer debit cards. For instance, if I have a company called Skyworth, I can apply, and if I certify the regulations, Skyworth can be a debit card bank. So the laws support that in the UK. Yeah, so now Coinbase is from US. Okay, and yeah, it's from, I think, San Francisco, California. Remember this one, Xapo started in 2013. This is 2012. You know, so one is newer than the other. And Coinbase, I think, yeah, kind of, there's a lot of people who are using it. And also Xapo is not bad. Yeah, many people also are using it, depending on where you are from. For instance, US people, when they would use, I think they had, Xapo had some issues in the US, especially they were kind of thought of to be in money laundering or things like that. But still, I think they sorted that, and then people in the US could use it. So that's okay. Yeah, so that's a kind of a brief history. Now, Coinbase, I find it easy to use. I've used Coinbase from the start when I bought my Bitcoins way back. I started using Coinbase, and I used this Xapo later, and I found Coinbase sign up was a bit easier for me. Also Xapo is okay, but kind of a longer process somehow if you looked at the time you spend getting a Xapo account and then a Coinbase. So yeah, but also at the end, it's up to you how fast you want to be. Yeah, so that's another thing. Then what I also think, yeah, for instance, if you sign up with a Coinbase account, they give you, and you share your link, Coinbase gives you an incentive, that is, they give you Bitcoins worth $10 if you, for instance, if I signed up with the Coinbase and I give you my link, which I always put, yeah, but I'll not put it this side because I'm reviewing both. So yeah, like if you share your link and someone else uses it to sign up, like a referral link, in Coinbase gives you Bitcoins which are worth $10 free. Both of you, the person who sent the link and the person who used the link, as long as the person who you send the link to uses it and transfers or buys Bitcoins worth $100. The moment they do that, and Bitcoins $100 is so easy to transfer through that. So that means both of you get $10 worth of Bitcoins. Yeah, so that's an advantage, I think. And with Xapo, actually, they stopped their affiliate. System. In other words, they stopped. They no longer offer that. So I don't know for what reasons. Yeah. So now the question is up to you which one you decide to use. And for those of you in D9, you've seen that it's either way. And also I've found also Coinbase being a bit faster somehow, but I said it can happen to both, to all wallets. So yeah, so the choice now is yours. Whichever you're using, just know that just take them as mobile money. Either you use MTN or Airtel, all of them, just do the transaction of funds. Okay, so the judgment is now yours, so you decide, and do not change. If you have Xapo, I have Xapo, I have Coinbase, I have blockchain.info. I mean, they have so many, but I just want to review this. So now for Bitcoin, so the choice is yours, so you don't need to panic if you have, I mean, whichever you use. Like I said, I have all of them, but I wanted us to have this question answered, which one to use. So what I think, now I go to D9. Why was Xapo more promoted in D9? I think these are the reasons. And don't get me wrong, it's not the official communication, but I think this is the reason. One. Before maybe I give that, the other reason, I think the other advantage of Coinbase over Xapo is Coinbase gives you a wallet which gives an account which handles more than one cryptocurrency. For instance, when you sign up with Coinbase, you in one place you'll have a Bitcoin account, you'll have a Litecoin account, you'll have Ethereum account. You see, so in other words, you have 3 accounts. You can have all of them in one Coinbase account. And on the other hand, Xapo only handles Bitcoins. So that's another thing. I don't know if having many wallets is important to you, or just have one. So now I come to why Santana and his friends in the company decided to use Xapo over Coinbase. Is this one? I think Danilo Santana, who is the head of D9, chose Xapo because basically I think it's because Xapo gives a debit card, okay, which Coinbase I think sorry about that. Yeah, Coinbase is when I compare the two things here, I come back to still I was talking about why I think D9 decided to use Coinbase, Xapo over others. I said one of the main advantage because it gives you can easily, like if you don't, for Ugandans, I'm sorry, for now you can't get the debit card, you can't get a Xapo debit card with a Ugandan address. I think this applies to many African countries, Kenya, Nigeria, where you can't get this card now unless otherwise. Though me, somehow I'll soon have mine. I don't know if I should share how to get one, but I'll have one. But that will be an advantage. Xapo can yeah, but it's hard to get one, especially if you're from Africa. It's near to impossible. These guys don't offer. Maybe they don't know we use also Bitcoins. So so I think because of a debit card, and it will be so easy to move your money from D9 and D9 to a debit card, which you can use it at the point of sales to buy things if you have your debit card, which I think is a MasterCard. Yeah, I think MasterCard, they use MasterCard. So you can use it, withdraw money from the ATMs, which you don't have. So that's, I think, the main reason that they use this. Yeah. So yeah, for now, yeah, you can always make a choice. The choice is yours, and I wanted to cover this conclusively to answer all your questions. Most of you have sent me WhatsApp messages, but I would prefer also to have comments below. And please tell me what you think about the video, and please subscribe not to miss videos like this. Thank you very much, and have a lovely week. Today is a Monday. We have to start on the good side of the week. God bless, and God loves you, so do I. Paul.